Anthony Joshua trainer under fire for admitting he knew Anthony Joshua had a concussion in the Andy Ruiz first fight. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Also sign up for ESPN Plus. Link is in the description. It helps the channel. Wow. Let's talk about it. Talk Sport has an article about it. Link in the description. But basically, Anthony Joshua's trainer, Rob McCracken, who Joshua has backed and said he's not leaving, has been under fire because he did an interview with BBC and admitted that he recognized the signs. He's a fighter himself, former fighter. He recognized the signs that Joshua was concussed after the third round, right? Just, you know somebody on a day-to-day basis and all of a sudden they're loopy and, out of sorts, which is very apparent based on what Joshua was saying and whatnot. So it says under fire, and then I'll give kind of my opinions. Anthony Joshua trainer Rob McCracken slammed after admitting he knew his fighter was concussed during the Andy Ruiz loss. Rob McCracken has been accused of putting Anthony Joshua's life in danger after admitting he knew his fighter was concussed during the defeat to Andy Ruiz. The Brit was shocked Madison Square Garden June 1 when the little fancied Mexican-American stopped him in the seventh. Joshua's trainer has since conceded he was aware that AJ had suffered a concussion after being dropped in the third, but allowed him to fight on. McCracken said, quote, "I know him better than all these experts who virtually don't know him or have met him once or twice. I knew he was concussed, and I'm trying to get him through a few more rounds, one round at a time, and see where he's at. But he was glazy-eyed from when he got caught with that initial shot in the round 3, and he carried that with him up until the end." Wow. These comments sparked criticism from leading brain charity Headway, who accused the experienced trainer of being more focused on winning than the Watford-born star's health. Headway chief Luke Griggs told Sunsport, "It's a shocking admission, but it's highly unlikely that this is an isolated incident. Trainers have a duty to care for their boxers, and it seems clear that Anthony Joshua's trainer's sole priority was winning the fight, not protecting the fighter from potential fatal injury. We know once you had a concussion, any subsequent blow can exacerbate the damage. You are most at risk of having a particular serious or fatal brain injury if the brain has already been damaged and a concussion has already been sustained." At that point, he was particularly vulnerable to a more serious injury. One wonders how many deaths in the ring over the years have resulted from a win at all costs mentality. Joshua's rematching him December 7th. Headway's Griggs added, "In every other major sport, concussion protocols state that once a concussion has been suspected, the player must be removed and not allowed to return. Every blow to the head delivered by a fit, strong, technically gifted boxer has the potential to cause a concussion. In addition, you've got boxers who are praised for their bravery. Tyson Fury's last fight, he was praised for how he defied a count, and we're praising that. We're celebrating the fact that he beat the count. In that time, the referee is tasked with deciding whether or not they are fit to continue. You are basically asking the referee to conduct an impromptu concussion assessment with the people watching in too short a period of time, and when they are not qualified to do so. You see them staggering around on their feet, and the referee says, "Show me your strength and your gloves," but they're staggered. Concussion protocols in boxing are not worth the paper they are written on. Well, once again, new media, digital mob. Man, this is not a good look. not a good look. Now, people like Lennox Lewis and myself have stated that Joshua should perhaps seek out different guidance and, basically switch up his training team. That was met with resistance. People like Lennox Lewis, because he's the famed fighter, was called a clown because Lennox is never on my side type of deal. And then now you have the trainer of Joshua, who Joshua has pledged this oath to, and he's under fire for this admission where he admits that he knew Joshua had a concussion, but he allowed it to continue to see if he could snap out of it. Wow. This is just, this brings more light to what Lennox Lewis and people like myself have said. I'm not saying Rob McCracken's a bad trainer, but that definitely is something that I would have kept off the record. Like the Dave Chappelle skit, when keeping it real goes wrong, I wouldn't have said that. Even if you knew in your heart, I wouldn't have, you're going to be under fire for something like that, especially with Magomed, Abdul Salamov, being permanently maimed, Pritchard Cologne, recent deaths like Maxim Dadashev and Hugo. There's been deaths in Emil Griffin killed somebody, Sergey Kovalev killed somebody. That's not good, because at that point you're almost like an accessory to murder if something were to happen. Shout out to Buddy McGirt. Buddy McGirt has been very consistent throughout his career, and you got to know boxing with pulling the plug on fights if need be. Like even the Maxim Dadashev, I'm not happy what happened, obviously, but I'm happy that Buddy did what he did, so that doesn't rest on his conscience, because that's a heavy burden to hold. If like hypothetically, if Buddy McGirt, I feel like he can move on easier knowing that he tried to stop it. You can say, oh, he stopped it too late, but he seen what was happening there, and he still made the effort instead of doing what Rob McCracken is saying he's doing and allowing it to continue. So I don't feel like that. I don't think he'll, like Buddy McGirt, I mean, I can't speak for him, but I don't think he'll be guilt ridden. But if Rob McCracken would have put Joshua in a predicament where life was never the same based on a moment's notice decision, that stays with you. So Buddy McGirt, as a trainer, like I said, he will pull the plug. He did it with the Maxim fight. It was just he had already sustained too much punishment. So, unfortunately he passed. But Arturo Gatti versus Mayweather, you see, you got to know your boxing. Buddy McGirt was in Gotti's corner. Same kind of thing. He was like, nah. He's like, I'm stopping it, baby. I got to stop the fight. And then Arturo Gatti was like, no. One more round. Pleading with him. He's like, no, I got to stop it. He just said it like that. And then recently, Kovalev versus Anthony Yarde. Kovalev had a terrible round 7, which is part of the reason why Canelo Kovalev is not, as exciting. And I'm I am looking more forward to Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal, even though I'm a boxing guy primarily, first and foremost. But even in that fight, Yarde put a beating on Kovalev and nearly stopped him in the 7th. He's like, man, if I see anything like that again, I'm pulling the plug, Kovalev. And to Kovalev's credit, round 8, he came out and got it together. And then he won the fight. So, Buddy McGirt made some pretty good calls, I would say. But yeah, man, the fighter's health needs to be taken into consideration. It's not that serious. No one likes to lose. No one wants to, take a L and that type of stuff. But, would you rather take a life or take a L? You know what I'm saying? I'd rather take a L than potentially somebody get their life taken, So that's just my kind of opinion on it. Whoever this guy is, this specialist on neuro brain patterns and shit, Headways Griggs, absolutely right. You look at other sports, even basketball. Basketball is, I'm not saying it's not as physically demanding. Well, kind of. It's not as like boxing or NFL. Like NFL, you got helmets on, people big ass linebackers and shit like that. But even in basketball, if like Klay Thompson or whatever, or whoever, you get a concussion, you're out. If they suspect it's a concussion, because they value their player. Because see, that's the thing. These other sports got governing bodies. Boxing just kind of be doing whatever the fuck it wants, and it's unfortunate. In basketball, NFL, they suspect you have a concussion, you're pulled. Because yes, the team needs to win the playoff, needs to win the game. They need to advance to the finals, but it's not worth having that on their conscience if something were to happen to you. So again, I don't know why Rob McCracken would admit this, but it lends new credence to people like Lennox Lewis and myself, who have stated like, man, maybe you should look at other trainers. The other thing that's weird to me in this situation is the fact that it's not just this isolated admission, but when this concussion shit was going on in the fight, me personally, I didn't really hear no great corner instruction to try to get Joshua back into the victory. Like, the thing that struck me was Joshua was talking. You have a concussion, you should just be listening. You know what I'm saying? Because you're already jaded or cloudy. Your mental is already fragile. And Rob McCracken was allowing Joshua, oh, what did he hit me with? Hit me with a punch. What punch was that? You know, bro, it sounded like he had like memory loss. Like this, I mean, it's not a good look. There's no other way to put it. You can't remember what just happened to you. That's not good. In any language, any sport, any culture, if a motherfucker don't know what just happened to him, like, oh, why am I feeling like this? You should pull him out of there, you know. And the more I think about it, the more dangerous you see how this could have been. Andy Ruiz is not a light puncher, you know, despite what Bob Arum's saying that because he's no longer in charge of Ruiz, you know, because he's not managing his career. He's talking about, oh, Ruiz has never been a big puncher or whatever. But that's why he'd rather say Tyson Fury is half Mexican than the guy that's actually Mexican. You know what I'm saying? Because he is sour grapes. But Andy Ruiz got hands. He got heavy hands. And it don't matter how heavy your hands are. Once your brain starts to swell and shift and potentially hemorrhage and stuff, everything becomes worse. Every little nuanced thing or punch that landed is a definite, you already concussed. You already received concussive blows. So everything after that will just surmount, you know, it's just going to become greater and greater. You know, just imagine, I mean, it's just like getting, like you watch Forensic Files or somebody gets stabbed. Okay, so you're already kind of mortally wounded, and these stab wounds need to, you know, be taken a look, you know, being taken care of or whatever. And then the person hits you on the head. So you already have this wound, then hit you on the head with a lamp or start choking you. Of course, you know, I mean, anything in addition to what you're already going through, when you're already going through one potentially seriously fatal scenario and you get hit more and more and more, I mean, it just spells trouble. It's very easy to see. So, yeah, that's a bit of negligence from Rob McCracken. I don't even know why he would admit this as a fighter. I don't know how he thought this would be received. That's not the decision. Man, I'm picking Andy Ruiz. I don't care what nobody's saying. Just this team, this shit looked broken. It looked broken. You know, Joshua better go in there and stomp Ruiz out. That's the only shot he really has to me to win, is if he just go out there and things are just going his way. You know, but in this trenches, it don't seem like the team is together. Like I said, when Joshua was concussed, why is he even talking? You know, why is he talking back? Oh, how do I feel like this? Why? I feel bad. What did I eat for supper? You know, why is he talking? You should be like giving him clear, concise, like directions and trying to get him through this. But it seemed far too mellow for me. Like I'm not saying you have to panic the situation more, but I didn't hear the urgency with it. I don't know. It's just my opinion. But like I said, people like me and Lennox Lewis, this is more vindication. Your own trainers telling the world that he potentially endangered your life even more because he knew something was up. He knew you had a concussion. He's firm on that, but he allowed you to keep going. You know, that's some Roman gladiator type shit. Yeah, I know he's fucked up. You know, like if I don't care how much I win, if I know my man's is fucked up, then he fucked up. You know, that's like going out with friends and I know my boy's like smashed and, you know, borderline alcohol poisoning and I buy him more shots. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? You go out with your people or if you're a girl, you know, you go out with your girls and she's seriously like, her blood alcohol concentration is through the roof and she's super faded. And then you just, you know, buy her more shots and, you know, that's how much do you care about your people? You know what I'm saying? They're already impaired and, you know, borderline alcohol poisoning and you gonna buy them more drinks, you know, and then let them go with, like, if it's a girl, you know, let a guy she met take her home and shit. Like, nah, that's not how you take care of your people. I don't know what they do in the UK, but in America, you can't do stuff like that. Like, that's not how you show that you care for your people. You know, oh, let's just see what happens. Oh, a few more drinks. No, you just, hey, you know, and I know people like that. Like, they're like, they cut them off. Like, no, you're cool. Drink some water. You know, you need to throw up. You need some bread. You know what I'm saying? You need some greasy food or something. You don't need no more alcohol. You know, and that's kind of the same thing. Being concussed, similar to being drunk. It's a state of being impaired where, like, no one would tell you to drink and drive and say that's safe for you. Just like if you're concussed, you're not supposed to operate heavy machinery. You're not supposed to drive a vehicle. You're supposed to chill the fuck out and rest and, you know, probably be in the room with the lights cut off type shit. Because it's a state of impairment. And, you know, it's just like taking sleeping pills or something and you're hella groggy and drowsy. You're not in your right state of mind. So to allow Joshua to face a fellow heavyweight who doesn't know, see, Andy Ruiz is trying to change his family's life. I'm not saying Andy Ruiz is a murderer, killer or something, but he's trying to change his family's life. He has one mission. These fighters are programmed to seek and destroy and to improve their quality of life using their hands. So Andy Ruiz, it's not like he wants to maim or permanently hurt somebody, but he's thinking about him. He's thinking about his family. He's thinking about the victory. He's thinking about what a victory means to him. So that's what they're trained to do. Is almost like some Terminator shit. You know, they're trained to execute the target, you know, the mission at hand. So you can't blame him. That's why there's people in place like trainers, referees. You could throw in the towel. Referees supposed to decipher, you know. Man, new media, we just killing. And it's looking bad. The other thing this doctor was talking about, head surgeon or head doctor, whatever, is Tyson Fury. He's like, people are praising his bravery, but, you know, you was in there with the concussive big ass puncher. That's not good, you know, because you got up and you're like loopy and stuff like that, which is why they're putting Tyson Fury. Listen, everything new media has been saying, you guys see it. You see it somehow. It unfolds and unravels. This is why they're putting Tyson Fury in with less than competition than we want to see, because they know how serious that Deontay Wilder power is in that 12th round scare, period. So now they're doing what they should have did in the beginning, which is take it easy. Chill out, Smokey. Take it easy. So everything the new media has been saying is true. You know, best of luck to Joshua's team. Like I told you, his loyalty might end up getting him in a bad position where he comes out of this rematch with another loss, because he wants to be loyal. But again, Rob McCracken, he was there when I was 14. You know, he taught me how to be a black man, a British African, and all this shit. All right, that's dope. But when he's doing interviews saying that, you know, he sent you out there like, you know, a piece of meat, a soldier, and allowed you to keep fighting, knowing something was wrong with you, to me, that's negligence. I don't understand why you would do that and or admit that. It's just me. Let me know what you guys think. We working.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.